and the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown lesson.
Young TV.
Hey, y'all, welcome to Young TV. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We about to get into Stardom and Gomorrah. Man, this is about to get good. Listen up.
Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt awe? Stars shape galaxies with their pull. Now look at your phone. That celebrity you follow? They're stars too, of flesh and brand deals. You are the cosmic dust orbiting, giving your energy to make them shine. Your devotion fuels their power, a feedback loop of worship and influence. Let's peel back the veil and see how your energy is harvested in the grand theatre of fame. The journey to stardom isn't a ladder. It's a pyramid scheme ruled by Baal, the unseen hand in a tailored suit, offering contracts that glitter but bind. Fame is dangled like a reward for your soul. Sacrifice your dignity, get the cash. The system is a brutal hierarchy, powered by secrets and sacrifice, where every step up demands a greater price. In Baal's world, business is booming, and your soul is the currency.
Hey, y'all, now we about to run a clip giving you a little background on who Baal and the Baphomet is.
Buckle up for a journey into the ancient past. To understand Baphomet, we must first meet Adad, the beloved storm deity and son of Enlil, who was a high-ranking Anunnaki. Adad became known as Baal, or Lord, a title later associated with the demon Beelzebub. Baal's influence spread across ancient cultures and texts, even appearing in the Bible. When Baal fell from grace, he was cast into the underworld, transforming into the dark figure known as Baphomet. Depicted with a goat's head and a human body, Baphomet symbolizes duality and hidden knowledge. The torch between its horns represents enlightenment, while its goat nature signifies independence and defiance. This chilling symbol has captivated occult enthusiasts for centuries, hiding layers of ancient dark history within its enigmatic form. Ready to unveil more secrets? In order for you to understand the Baphomet, we must take you back. It all starts with a being named Adad or Hadad, which means beloved, who is the son of Enlil. Enlil loved his son Adad. Enlil is the son of the Most High God Anu of the Anunnaki. Adad was also the grandson of Halal and the great-grandson of Shakar, Tarnush. Adad became known as Baal, and his sons became known as Baalim or Balaam. He was called Teshub by the Greeks, meaning storm deity. Baal was a title and honorific meaning master, owner, or lord. It was the same as saying Yahweh or Adonai, because Baal, Adad became a Yahweh, or should I say, a way.
Hey, we're going to put the link to the full tape in the descriptions. But to make a long story short, Baal becomes the goat Menez or Moloch, who is being worshipped in the Baphomet order. And Baal became a scapegoat for Enlil, right? He became the Satan, the new Lucifer, the new devil, right? And people worship him in exchange for gifts. And Baal got demons under him. He's the head commander of what you're calling the dark world or hell.
In this universe, everything has a price, even your soul. Baal's contracts offer fame and fortune, but demand public humiliation, control, and ever darker acts. Each level is a deeper descent, until you're no longer just a performer, but property, trading your humanity for a seat at the high table.
If you come to the devil, you know you want to sell your soul for some you know you don't need to have right now, or if you really wanted that kidney, or you really wanted to go over here to what is it, Dubai or what, you really wanted a new life. You went through certain channels to get that life.
Yeah.
You knew what the consequences was.
You just do what they tell you to do. Somebody thought I would do that and sent me a script and said, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I said, no, I'm not.
But like selling your soul is like, it's like if somebody tells you to do something that doesn't align with your morals and principles. You get what I'm saying? To get to a certain level or to stay here. It's like if they tell you, look, hey, in order to get them come be on Breakfast Club, you got to come in here with your ass out. You got to come in here and twerk to the music, goddamn, at the beginning. And if that's not something that aligns with you, with your morals, with your principles, with the way you operate, and you say, hell yeah, I'm a dude, man, this breakfast, I can't miss this opportunity. You sold your motherfucking soul. That's real.
Right.
It's that simple. You get what I'm saying?
You know, they take you on private vacations to isolated islands, or you get the penthouse suites in hotels. You get yachts, private jets, shopping trips. They lavish you with gifts. They make it look like it's the good life. This is the good life. Join us. You can have anything you want. You are a god. You can have the world. This is what they tell them. They don't tell them the small writing. And so people get infatuated by the luxury and the lavishness of being, rubbing elbows with the rich and the elite. Your own private jets and yachts and islands. And the good life. They're treated very well. And then they join. They decide, okay, I'm going to join. I'm going to join with you guys.
Ever wonder how some folks go from barista to superstar overnight? It's not luck, it's the booty pirates of Baal. These aren't your rum-soaked pirates. They wear suits, reek of sulfur and cologne, and their parrots are lawyers. They prowl Hollywood, Nashville, Silicon Valley, hunting for desperate dreamers. They don't want gold, they want your creative spark, your booty. They find you at your lowest, offer you fame and fortune, and hand you a contract with ink that smells like burnt sugar. You sign, not with a pen, but with a warm obsidian stylus. The deal is sealed. Suddenly, you're not just a person. You're a vessel, a ship under their flag. They hand you a compass that points to your soul, tracking your every move. The pirates become your spectral shareholders, expecting a return on their investment. Doors swing open, opportunities rain down, and you're living the dream. But the pirates are always there, watching, making sure their treasure, your essence, keeps growing. You're no longer just you. You're their asset, and they're waiting for the harvest. Stardom comes at a price, and the pirates always collect. The real question, what did you just sign away?
Where it's a door. When you platinum and you're getting 50,000 a show, I've been there. There's a door that you could walk in. I'm not sure if it's homo or if it's Illuminati. I just didn't take that though. I went straight. What do you mean? Listen, when you get to a level of success, when you getting 30, 40, 50,000 a show, you platinum, you running across the world. There's three different doors, right? There's three different ways to walk. There's to the left, there's to the right, and then there's straight. Straight is you're on your own. Let's see if you continue this success, young man. Let's see if it's all about your skills, young man. Let's really see that. You went straight. To the right, I'm not sure if that's the home. shit right there. And then it's to the left. I'm not sure if there's some sacrifice going on right there. I'm not sure because I went straight. But I was offered these doors.
This is your offer.
I don't. No. I'm saying that to the right when I seen it, those was those guys over there. I just chose to go straight.
There's no artist in this industry that's doing major numbers with these platforms that haven't sold their soul. And when you know what you're looking at and you know how to decipher shit, you will see it. And the people like the brother right here who has this merch and is doing it out the trunk and direct to consumer, you will never get to that $20 million club without going through certain doors, bro.
You made a comment about how you was one of the few rappers that never sold their soul. What made you say that?
Because I know majority of these rappers. Yeah. I know what be going on behind the scenes. I know who not really in control. You know what I mean? I know the real. You know, a lot of times people be blinded by what they see in these videos and on TV, but I just know. I know what I know, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that ain't being righteous and they ain't keeping it infinity, because keeping it 100 ain't enough. That's a limit. You go with me, you got to keep it infinity. So it's just a lot of people, man, that's just, selling their soul and selling themselves short and distracted with the wrong things. So, it is what it is, man. This industry is a very evil industry. You know what I mean? Like it's very evil, man. So you got to really surround yourself with people that think like you or bigger than you. So it's a nice amount of, I ain't gonna even say nice. There's a lot of rappers that sold their soul and, they let money dictate everything they do. They value money more than they value humans. I ain't participating in no bullshit. If it ain't righteous, I don't want to be a part of it, man. I'm not gonna snake my people and I ain't gonna snake my people and I can't sell my people out and I ain't gonna sell myself out. Fame ain't that important, man, for me to just do anything. It's cool.
When it comes to selling your soul, and I understand it can get deeper than what you've expressed, are you done selling your soul at this point, or is that something you may, or you're continuing, or you may do in the future, or are you completely done with that portion of your life?
I mean, once you sell your soul to something, that's dead, especially to money. Because once you sell your soul to money, it can get addictive, like addictive. You can't. It's like a bad. That's the worst in the world. Money. Once you start getting money, that's addictive. You know what I'm saying? The more money you get, the more money you gonna try to get. You feel me? And that's when you start getting blind. You start, forgetting where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Start not caring about your friends, your old friends that always cared about you. Just all type of. You sold your soul. You don't even got the same soul no more. You sold your soul. You want the money. You don't want the love.
I don't want anyone to own my soul.
Well, that's not the main prize. The main prize is your butt and the things they can make you do to when you give up everything, you're soulless. For like 5 years, 7 years, and then you can continue and to your life that you didn't have. It's a thing that people fight for but never kind of really get until they actually go through the 5 years of not having a penny. The 7 years of whatever deal they take, whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? How long is it gonna take for you to get that? And if you're gonna go through your bullshit until you reach that pinnacle.
I took an oath when I was 16, and loyalty means so much to me, and loyalty should mean so much to anybody, because let's say if the devil comes to you, right, and so I'll give you $100 million, but I want you to turn your back on God. Would you turn your back on God, or will you take that $100 million?
It makes me happy that I'm able to afford what I want, and it makes me happy that I get to treat my family. But I feel like the way that I have money kind of took away a lot of my happiness, because I remember when a lot of people didn't used to know me and I was stripping and I was broke. I wasn't broke, but I didn't have much money, but I was happy because I get to do whatever I want and I could have an opinion, and I wasn't limited to the things that wanted to come out my mouth. Like, I was happy. Sometimes I feel like depressed because it's like I could have a good day, and you never know when somebody makes a meme out of you clowning you that might put you down, or there's somebody that's talking about my family member on.
Let me break down this whole selling your soul thing for a lot of people, because a lot of people have it misconstrued, and I want to let you know that there are levels to this stuff. Okay, the lower level of selling your soul is doing something for money that you would never ever do unless money is involved. That's a form of selling your soul, but it's very low tier, and it's not a contract you sign, you just sold out for the money. Now there's B tier. That was C tier. This is B tier. This is when you get into the industry, and they say the only way for you to make it, regardless of your talent, is you sign your name on the dotted line. That's usually a 360 deal. A 360 deal means they own your lyrics, they own your name, they own the rights to your video, and they can take out certain words you can say. When you sign that contract, they will say, you can say God all you want because Satan is their God, but you cannot say Jesus. So that's another form of selling your soul. By restricting your vocabulary, you lose your rights to preach about Jesus, and that's a high form of selling your soul. So that's tier B. Now tier A is these big time rappers who want to make it to the 20, 30, 40, $50 million club. They sell their souls for real. Some of them sign their names in blood letters. And anyone who sells their souls, they can ask for repentance. They can ask God for forgiveness and repent of their sins, and it's forgiven. But the way that they explain the whole selling the soul process to these artists and these entertainments and these actors and politicians, they convince them that they're past repentance. That's why they never repent.
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. You know, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
Bob Dylan told 60 Minutes and other national TV programs that he was given magical enlightenment by the devil himself to be able to come up with the rhymes and the music that he developed, and all of it when he went to the crossroads in the South, where his idol admitted that he himself had sold his soul to the devil.
Rick Ross is the same way. He don't have to fulfill blood sacrifices because he's giving souls to Satan. That Maybach music, all he got to do is keep signing people. And that's what he's doing. He's signing people and they're giving them. So it's easy to do. They follow the rituals. They get a little success. And if they really want it bigger, they tell them what to do, and they're going to fulfill their own blood sacrifice.
So hit them up. Let them know. Y'all know about it. Because then y'all in that secret.
The music industry is a tool utilized by the elites to control the mass collective. The music industry uses black magic through the medium of the music that most people listen to. Why do you think rappers get paid millions of dollars to talk about harming other people, to talk about selling drugs, to talk about using drugs? It's because these artists are being used as subconscious conditioning tools, programming these realities into the mass collective mind. The objective of the music industry is to keep people trapped in a false identity construct. The elites use the music industry to carry out their agenda to shell people because they want people to be consumers and not producers. They want people to be separated from their soul.
I was introduced to a certain lady. My manager at the time. The irony is his nickname was Hollywood. His name is Andre, but he calls himself Hollywood.
Yeah.
So when I think of it now, it's like the signs were all around me, but I could not read anything. I think that's how the common man is. The signs are all around us, but we can't read anything. So Hollywood takes me to New York and introduces me to a lady named Crystal, who at the time I began actually dating. She said, I know what the problem is. We need to get you hooked up. So getting me hooked up was actually joining a secret society or a brotherhood. So the brotherhood she took me to was a Santeria priest in New York. Now this Santeria priest, Santeria is a cult, all right? It's a witchcraft coven, a cult. So she takes me to this place in Brooklyn, New York, and he tells me that, this priest tells me that he'll take me through an initiation. He didn't call it an initiation. He said it's a baptism. He gave it a Christian name. He said, yeah, we'll just baptize you and that's it. And, you know, he said, have a look around. You know, he has a shop. They call them bodegas. So he took me around his bodega and he's showing me the different things that he sells. So he's got candles. There are candles with characters that are supposedly from the Bible. Saint Mary has a candle, Saint Paul, Saint Peter has a candle. All of these different Bible characters have candles, but that's not biblical, because lighting candles and saying a prayer is witchcraft. That's not sorcery. Prayer has nothing to do with lighting of candles. You're not supposed to light candles, and you're not supposed to pray through any saints, because the scripture says that there is one God, one Father, and one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. So you're not supposed to have any other mediator.
People sell their fucking soul. That's the people you fucking people clap for and cheer for and jump up and down for. These people sold their souls. You're like, Joey, what do you mean? The devil showed up with a pen? No. Somewhere along the line, they ignored something natural that comes over you, because they thought what they were doing is completely better than what somebody like you, somebody at home is doing. You know, they have this air to them that they're better than everybody because they have $3, or because they're on TV, or because they've done a movie. And I've never understood that.
My own thing, I'm gonna sell myself. Right. For real. You know, this is me, young boy. I'm gonna sell myself. And I just need to get in the industry.
I want to tell y'all I apologize and I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but as far as this music stuff, I won't be doing this music stuff anymore. I started this because this was my dream, and you know, I wanted to make sure I could get me and my kids out the hood. It's always been my passion to rap. A while ago, I had signed a contract and I didn't know nothing about the business or this game out here. And just right now, I'm realizing that I signed my soul. I sold my soul to the devil. I signed myself to the devil. I don't even own myself no more.
Person, look though, they gonna fuck you in the ass, bro, when you get AIDS, bro. And when you come back, you gonna be famous. When you come back from getting sick, you gonna be more famous than ever. You gonna go up more than ever. My mama straight like that. So I'm like, what? So I'm like, what? I'm like, for real, he started giving me a whole list of artists. I ain't even gonna put them out there, but he gave me a whole list of artists who sold their soul and it basically got fucked in the ass for pay. I'm like, what? I'm like, for real? I'm like, hell nah. He was telling me that that's all I gotta do to get whatever amount of money I want, whatever I want.
So this dude was in jail with R. Kelly and asked him, is selling your soul real? And he told him since he stopped complying with Hollywood, they locked his ass up.
Sell their soul, and what do that mean when they sell their soul, and what do people have to do and stuff like that? And the first time I actually addressed that to him, and so he basically sarcastically said that, what you think going on with me right now? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in compliance with what they wanted me to do. So, you know what I'm saying? If I were to continue to live how they wanted me to live and participate in things that they wanted me to participate in, this would have never happened. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? They lynching me because I tried to fall back from certain activities. A lot of those activities are what people been speculating, you know what I mean? Like, people have to degrade themselves. Some people, you know, it's a science behind sacrificing a loved one. You know, even Jesus was a blood sacrifice, you know what I mean?
Did you say so guarded within your career?
This is what I did.
Then no, I'm good. Thank you. No, thank you. Okay, so sometimes that doesn't translate as far as what you are allowed to have, what you have access to. You will be blackballed. You will be talked about. You will be shitted on. You will be rumored about. But you have to stand strong on what you don't care for. It's not that serious to me, if I have to sell my soul. And people will still try to manipulate, the perception of you regardless. But as long as you can go to bed at night and look in the mirror and be happy and say, thank God, I've been kept. I'm still solid on who I am as a person.
I don't give a fuck. I sold my soul. I went to a red room. Cheezer, Convy, Aiden, and Tav came in with red robes on, and they had blood stains dripping down their mouths. You feel what I'm saying?
Tell them how this nigga sold his soul and shit.
I'm scared as fuck right now, bro.
What are you scared about? What happened?
I did something. I can't say it on stream, bro. Like, I'm very scared as fuck, bro. I'm not. I can't say it on stream though. I'm like that.
Say it.
Nah, I can't, bro. I can't say it on stream.
It's bad.
I'm scared as fuck, bro. But I'm just.
I done see my own man sell his soul.
He really had to wrestle with the idea that he's in an industry where not only can that happen, but it had happened to him.
Artists be too scared to stand up for something. They scared to lose their fucking house. Or they scared to lose their record deal. I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal.
I also was able to walk in the devil's den without selling my soul. Y'all know I got in Vegas. I was in the room that Tupac in. So that means that I probably need to been dead. But just because I believe in the Lord more than I believe in the devil, I'm just saying Nas he was all wrong. He was all wrong. Stop searching for something that you really don't want to be in.
At the heart of this entire infernal enterprise lies a piece of paper, or rather a pact sealed in blood and ambition. Baal and his minions, the Dark Vulcans, are meticulous record keepers. They are lawyers of the damned, and their weapon of choice is the unilateral contract. Unlike a normal agreement with mutual promises, this is a one-sided affair. Baal, the offerer, makes a promise. I will give you fame, wealth, and power. In exchange, the aspiring star, the offeree, is not required to promise anything. The contract only becomes binding when they perform a specific, abominable act. It is a devil's reward offer. This legal structure is pure genius in its predatory simplicity. An aspiring artist is under no obligation to sacrifice their loved one or perform a degrading act on camera. They can walk away at any time before the deed is done. But the glittering promise of stardom, dangled just out of reach, is a powerful lure. The Dark Vulcans whisper in their ear, showing them the life they could have. The moment the offeree completes the requested act, the moment they put on the dress, debase themselves on film, or pull the trigger, or set a contract on their loved ones, the contract is sealed. Acceptance is by performance. Baal is now legally and spiritually obligated to pay up, and the star is now legally and spiritually bound. This one-way street ensures a steady supply of fresh souls. There is no negotiation, no back and forth. The terms are fixed. This creates a clear, tiered system of advancement, a corporate ladder to hell. Want 5 million? The price is public humiliation. Want 20 million? The price is your recorded shame. The choice is always yours, which makes the damnation all the more personal. You weren't tricked. You weren't forced. You saw the price tag, you coveted the prize, and you willingly paid the cost. This performance-based acceptance makes the sin entirely your own. Once performance begins, the trap begins to close. Legally, an offerer can't revoke the offer once the offeree has started to perform. Spiritually, it works the same way. The moment you start down the path of abomination, the darkness begins to take hold. You've invested too much to turn back. This is how Baal ensures a constant stream of clients, each one willingly walking into his fold, signing their souls away, not with a pen, but with their own actions. The contract is just the receipt for a transaction that has already taken place in the star's heart.
Now listen, you ain't gonna get past that $10 million range without giving them what they want. You see, in order to get down with Baal, you gotta commit abomination.
So, you want to be a star. Baal understands. He offers a simple deal. $5 million for a public act of spiritual rebellion, a symbolic inversion, a test of your ambition. It's your first step into the grand theatre of the profane, a public declaration that your soul is on the market. That money is just bait. The first taste is never free. It's a down payment on your soul. You've cashed the first check, but the glow fades and the hunger for more begins. The next offer is $20 million, but the price is your freedom. You're forced to perform on camera. Your shame, their insurance. Your secrets are locked away, ensuring loyalty through fear. You're a star to the world, but a hostage to the order.
One of those rules were, in your grandma's King James version of the Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5, where it reads, "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination to the Lord thy God." So keep in mind, in order to get down with the sixth god, who is Baal, the Baphomet, you gotta go against the Most High God. You gotta commit an abomination.
Kevin Hart wearing a dress in the SNL skit, and Dave Chappelle spoke about that as a comedian. Black actors are always, being asked to wear dresses. Have you ran into that, and what do you think about that whole Illuminati theory that people put out there about that?
Well, thanks for that softball question. It's two answers. First of all, let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. So everybody can't do everything. So, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is.
So then I started talking about all the men that go into Hollywood that have to put on a dress. That's right. And this is real. So I'm saying, well, they were asking me, well, why are you talking about this in this manner? I said, because it's a ritual that they have to go through.
That's right. That's right.
And I told them the one that we should be applauding is Dave Chappelle. He gave them their money back and told them to go to hell.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, these brothers gotta wear a dress. That's happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. It's the writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And, what? A prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? you don't feel comfortable with it. I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. Huh. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then like the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So then, wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know what I mean? This is, oh gosh, this guy's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers comes, come on, David would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, you know, strong brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so you gotta take a stand.
At the murky bottom of fame swim the D-listers, mayflies of celebrity, one-hit wonders, and forgotten faces whose brief spark barely lights their own obscurity. They scrounge for scraps on platforms like Cameo, selling birthday messages for $50. Each video a tiny reminder someone still remembers. One rung up, the C-listers, recognizable working-class stars, populate the middle ground, providing the backbone of the entertainment beast.
Sound familiar? Right, because when Obama was in there during the Obama Nation, right, between 2008 and 2016, Obama passed a lot of the rainbow agenda stuff, right? Hence the word Obama Nation. Keep in mind, the sixth God wants you to commit abomination against the Most High God. Another one that he likes to get you to do is Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22, where it reads, "Thou shalt not lay with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto." It is a confusion, right? So all these things are abomination to the Most High God. Also, not to mention, thou shalt not kill, you know, the 10 commandments. So anything that goes against the 10 commandments or goes against or that makes up an abomination in the scriptures of the Most High God, Baal or the sixth God wants you to do those things to prove your loyalty to him. A lot of people in the order of the Baphomet are forced to commit adultery because most of them are married, a lot of them, and they have to do these swinger parties and all these other crazy things. So Baal wants you to get down and bow down with him, and to prove your loyalty, like we said, he wants you to do the abomination. So we just want to give you the whole rundown, and we want you to keep that in mind as we go along.
Think you've made it? Not so fast. The booty agents of Baal run fame like a twisted video game. Each level, stranger rituals. At first, it's harmless. Wear a weird sigil. Drop a cryptic phrase in interviews. Fans think it's quirky. It's actually a secret ritual. Do the ritual. Get your next hit. Easy. Level up, and the tasks get theatrical. Public feuds, concerts on occult dates, lyrics laced with hidden chants. You're not just an entertainer. You're a high priest in the cult of celebrity, harvesting fan energy. Reach living legend status, and the rituals get bizarre. Secret parties, public endorsements that betray your values. Each act trades a piece of your autonomy for more star power. Refuse, and your fame evaporates. You're left cold, forgotten. The rituals never end. The price keeps rising. You're trapped in a cycle of submission and reward. the agents of Baal feed on your obedience and your soul. Fame isn't free. Every spotlight comes with a shadow. The higher you climb, the deeper you're owned. Welcome to the real game of fame.
I'm going to take your souls.
Do you forgive somebody for taking somebody's ass? There's a lot of people out here taking from people. Not only like people are getting robbed of not only their money and their spirituality. They're getting robbed of their womanhood and manhood.
They giving niggas some shit that ain't even what you think. You fuck around, wake up tomorrow, shit, ass nigga with a footy on, and don't know what the fuck you just done did. I mean, real shit. Your motherfucker meat pistol fucked up and your ass hurting. You don't know what the fuck to say. You don't know who to tell. But this is what the game is going to. That's what it's going to. Then, here it is, it's time for a contract to come out. Nigga want to sign you for 5 years. You like, nah, dog. So you don't want to sign with us? Nah. Not for no, nah. Man, pop in the tape. Show this nigga what he did last night. I'm serious. Dude, this real shit I'm telling y'all though. Pop in the tape. You sitting that motherfucker like, man, what the fuck? Yeah, well, what the fuck? That's what happened. You got fucked. What you gonna do? You gonna sign that contract. You don't want nobody in the hood to see that shit. You don't want this shit to get out, dog. I'm telling y'all, and this is what I'm telling y'all like this. These niggas that you see constantly high, they're not getting high because they like to get high. They're getting high because they know what they done done. And they can't live with that shit for real. So, I'm telling y'all this from me.
Then they bring me to the back room. And in the back room they have this long table with a white sheet set out. I mean, beautiful thing. Look like the damn Last Supper. On one end is Derek Jeter. There's Stephon Marbury. It's not that the rapper. That's not it. That's a misconception. What it is, it's about control. See, that's what makes it, that's why you see, like, wow, Jamie Foxx, you would say that? Because they're in a bind, because see, Jay-Z's not, but once you reach a certain level, you have to give something up. There's something that you're going to give up, because you got to be down with that crew. And how do I know? Because it happened to me. That is why I'm standing here talking right now. I reached a certain level in that station. What I'm saying, what's happening is it was passed down to to everyone in the urban industry. So now you have a rapper who will get turned out by a high-ranking label exec because, well, what you gonna do? I mean, if I want to be a rapper and I walk in and the label exec tells me that this is what I need to do for him because, hey, he put my album on when I really wasn't that talented. But they pushed me because they saw that I was something that they could sell. So when you bring me in a room and there's my favorite rapper right there who's in the same room, so that must mean he must have committed the same act as I did. So at the end of the day, depending on where your level is within yourself, you go do it. And it's easy for those of us to sit back and say we wouldn't do it. But the majority of us will never fulfill our dreams. So we'll never be in a position to say what we would or would not do. You understand what I'm saying? We'll never be in that position. Because before I got there, I would say the same thing until I got there. You understand? So I literally lived the devil taking me to the mountain and saying, you need to go to the left, you have all of this. And I was there. It was ritualistically done. 3 straight weekends. They do everything in 3s. 3 weekends in a row. Hey, D-Brad, let's go hang out. And every weekend, he kept beating me in the head. Get rid of this Rap City, man. You can do more than Rap City, D-Brad. You can do more than you need to come with us. We go to the joint, we hanging in VIP. Get me everything I want. Then every time we hung out, it was the same way. Then they bring me to the back room. And in the back room, they have this long table with a white sheet set out. I mean, beautiful thing. Look like the damn Last Supper. On one end is Derek Jeter. There's Stephon Marbury. I'm trying to talk to the model chicks. He's like, nah, D-Brad, come on, sit right here. We get inside the limo. We're in the car. The man standing across looking at me like I owe him something now. And while he's doing that, he's sitting there with his legs spread open, rubbing his. And I'm in a situation where I'm like, no, what am I going to do for you? So for me, I had to turn that away. But with the hell that I caught after that, I've been homeless. I've had my name destroyed. I was ashamed of myself. I went from being a man to nothing because I would not cross over.
Intern this stuff for Andre Harrell. You know the answer already. That started his journey. According to R. Kelly, they was touching on him. He said that started his journey. Puffy started some journeys.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died, it was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died.
Second marriage failed. I opened up myself to the possibility of a person rather than a gender. I have never stopped being attracted to women. So we're now dealing with the subject of bisexuality. This subject is very misunderstood because the old adage is you're either gay, you're straight, or you're lying. It's just not true. And I've always had total love and support and understanding that after my second marriage failed, because I had been 100% heterosexual up until that point, that I opened myself up after the failure of my second marriage, having read something about bisexuality. My story was different. I just found that I would open myself up to the possibility of a relationship based on the person and not on gender. And I did after seeing a man or a woman for about a 4 or 5 year period of time, interregnum, entered into a relationship with a man. And I just revealed that because that's what the facts were and are. And to the extent when I was aware, I immediately told my children. My children knew of that. My closest friends certainly all knew because we would take trips together. I would take 3 or 4 trips a year, 2 with family, 2 with friends. We would all do it together.
We want you to meet some friends, okay? I want you to take it personal because we know that you're about your business and you know how to make that dollar. It's all business. Don't take it personal when you see what's up, right? They take them in this room and there'd be 3, 4 dudes on another guy.
Whoa,
and he may know that dude in the business. They say, what you're about to see, nobody else know. This is part of the ritual. You are not to speak about this. You're seeing these dudes, transgender, and they're all like lapping this one cat, right? That's the first test to see if you're going to buck. Why I'm telling you that? Because that's the first thing they did to Cat. They took Cat to all these private parties. Cat couldn't believe what he was seeing. Cat rebelled. Usually before they want to take you to the next level, they say, let's see what he's going to think when we take him here. A lot of dudes like, you know what? That ain't got shit to do with me. It's all about the money.
Damn.
Well, it ain't all about the money because now what you saw done to that guy, it's your turn. And you're going to say, they're going to, hey, come on up in here. Nah, man, I ain't down for that. Well, do you think we're going to keep paying you $5 million a year? Do you think you're going to be honors on BET? Do you really think we're going to keep putting your name in lights? Read the paper, man. Read the letter we gave you. The letter we gave you, right? Stop bullshit. You're going to do everything that we just did to him. Either you do or we're going to break you. What you mean you're going to break? We're going to take all your money out your account. Oh, man, this bullshit. I got my rights. You ain't got no motherfucking rights. We run this. We decide who's going to be a star, who ain't going to be a star, who's going to be rich, who's going to be poor. We do all of those things. Ain't nobody no star. We decide who's going to be a star, who's going to be president, and etc. That's what.
Yo, y'all want to see how fast people switch up?
Motherfucker, this real life.
Real life
yeah,
shit,
nigga,
bro.
no Diddy Gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you heard?
Meek Mill holler no Diddy Gang now.
Yeah, but he can't really say that when the landlord came out and said that after you left Meek Mill's, it was blood and dookie all over the sheets and stuff. After Diddy ran through you.
He said blood and dookie?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Meek. Dookie.
When Diddy got locked up, Meek Mill came out saying that he'll pay somebody $100,000 to investigate that he has nothing to do with anything with Diddy.
Man, look, You can't take back what your butthole received. That's just like the video that's coming out with him and Will. With Will Smith getting the Will Smith. You ain't heard the Will Smith footage?
Take that pain. Take it. Take it.
I don't have shit to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all that. I do enough of my own shit.
One nigga got that nigga up out of there. Thank God. Yeah, I had to fight some nigga in the bathroom. No homo. We slipping on semen. Niggas was jerking off in the bathroom, nigga. I mean, I got that nigga up out of there. All that shit. You know, this is parts of the story that I don't like to.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Basically, just back on the nines and just stay positive energy. Focus on work. Basically, consistency is key. It's how you be consistent. If you follow the nines, you can be consistent. So
yeah.
Alright, Will Smith. Then they got the Carl Winslow.
When Diddy fucked Carl Winslow, we was at the party. And you know, we just chilling and shit like that. And me,
messed up my childhood when he told me that.
Everybody know me, right? Right. I'm a goofy nigga. I'm funny and stuff like that. So I hear a nigga just wearing out some shit. I'm like, huh? Like hearing that, I'm like, on 6-0, who's wearing this bitch out? Right. Nigga, I kick in the door. Poof. Kick in the door. Nigga, I seen Carl Winslow put his
that's
head
the
up.
father. Ain't that the father from Family Matters?
Yeah.
No way.
The dad. The dad.
Oh, the dad.
The dad.
The dad.
I swear to God, dad homie, neighborhood crib. So when I seen that,
Man.
and then
So who was piping Carl? Diddy?
yeah, Diddy was. So when I seen that, cuz right, Diddy came back and he was telling me, he was like, it's nothing more enjoyable than having a man do something for some money. I'm just hearing like like all that shit. I'm like, oh, somebody wearing this bitch out on Crip. So I go busting the door. I look up, I see Carl Winslow. I'm like, oh, 6-0. Like, this is crazy.
Wow.
So,
do you have any response to this bizarre story that's circulating about you and Diddy? Some guy named Loose Cannon told this story about you.
That's all bullshit. I don't know that man. I've met him before. I wish him well, though.
What's your message to those who are talking about it and actually think? What's your message to them? Loose
Get a
Cannon.
life.
Only a man knows what a man needs.
When I walked in, who'd you walk in on? Him and Dwayne Martin. Okay. Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, what? But I see his car there. I'm like, where is this guy at? So now I'm holding Dwayne down too. So I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they're calling my cell phone. Yo, we need to get Will here. I'm like, yo, kind of down. Like, I'm trying to find this. Like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch and.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did. No matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f*** you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man.
The booty pirates don't just make stars. They keep them in check with ruthless precision. Regular booty checkups are spiritual audits, not friendly visits. Their lieutenants, demonic auditors, review your performance, your rituals, your soul's value. From day one, you're under surveillance. Every secret, every mistake is filed in Baal's archive. Blackmail is their insurance. Step out of line, and your darkest secrets hit the tabloids. The same fan energy that built you up will tear you down. Fear keeps you compliant, smiling for the cameras while you scream inside. The pirates steer your career, pushing you toward whatever generates the most energy. You're a puppet, and they hold the strings. The threat of exposure is the chain around your neck. You may be the star, but they run the show. One wrong move, and you're out fast. In the universe of fame, the agents of Baal are always watching.
When she was getting banged, she liked to scream a lot.
I was recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes.
Now the dude that he was a multi-millionaire. We all know him. For the record, it's not Jay-Z.
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
I think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Pull it, go till.
That's a different type of party.
If it's an open relationship, understand that means him and men.
To describe Puffy in one word is a...
There's freak-off videos being sold underground right now in Hollywood featuring big artists when they didn't even know they were being recorded, and I'm going to show you everything.
You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped? There already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge. I've heard this. Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs. Really?
Niggas gonna raid a man's properties, but not raid him. They raid a nigga's property, they coming to get you too. They sacrifice a Diddy. They say, man, you gotta take this shit, we can't be involved. But Diddy smart. He filmed every session. He was fucking Clive and the motherfucking freak boy that run Universal Music Group. Now that's why they raided the house, because they got friends in Homeland Security and the feds. And they said, get in there and get them tapes from this lady trying to blackmail us. That's what I believe is going on.
If I showed one of these tapes, so I'm telling you right now, the whole music industry and Hollywood, it would just grind down like this. They're all going to start pointing at each other like this, and it's going to be bad. We've already set it up. We have multiple attorneys. We know how to do it. It's not my first rodeo. I solved the greatest murder case in history. 3 of them. I know how to do it. We're going to do it, but just going to come in pieces. And there's also ways we can, let's say, not censor it, but we can kind of soften it.
The industry does nothing for free, y'all. Once you are in, they prefer you not to hang around nobody you know. Why? Because people that's not in the industry can see BS. They can see demonic things happening. They don't want you around folks like that because they can influence you to get out or not participate. So usually they pick your girlfriends, they pick your boyfriends. Why? See, you never can understand. You got all that kind of money, and you can date about anybody. I mean, half the time I go to the mall, make them celebrity women look sad. But why come they don't want those celebrities messing with anybody in the mall? Because those women in the mall are regular people. Some of them people believe in the Lord, and they read their Bible on a regular. So that means they got light in them. They can't have that. So when you get ready to date somebody, they prefer you to date someone in the industry because they wicked. You see, they got to keep you wicked. So it's no wonder that Kanye West loved Kim Kardashian, because she's a wicked one. She'd have been passed around like a baton. So now y'all understand why they, Kim Kardashian quit somebody else pick her back up. But who in the hell want to sleep with somebody in them bust? I mean, this girl done had more nuts than Planters peanuts. You hear what I'm saying? And they can't wait to date her. They can't wait to get with her. Man, come on. It's just, come on. They want you to have somebody.
Welcome to the B-list, the ambitious middle managers of stardom. These stars command millions of fans, drive trends and fill theatres, but they're not quite household names everywhere. Their fans are fiercely loyal, fueling a potent, focused energy that keeps these celebrities shining bright. B-listers walk a tightrope, envying the A-list above, fending off the hungry C-list below, and constantly hustling to stay relevant. Here, the deals get darker, the sacrifice is heavier, and the pressure to ascend is relentless. Many risk everything for a shot at true godhood, because the view from the top is said to be divine. The money pours in, your star rises, but you're still just middle management. The Dark Vulcans sense your ambition and offer a test. Sacrifice a loved one to prove your loyalty. This act severs your final ties to humanity. Each step up is paid in blood. The higher you climb, the more monstrous you become.
Well, we're going to send you a letter and answer it within a 24-hour period, and we'll tell you what we can give you. What you mean a letter, man? Just tell me right here. No. Go home. We're going to send you a letter, and that letter they're going to explain, but it's going to be coded like what they want him to do if he's willing to do this. You see, it's like nursery rhymes, and you were like, what? If I do what? Well, I don't understand the letter. Give us your mama, and we'll put you in the $20 million club. Man, you crazy. And if you weak, you ain't got the Lord on your side, you sitting at home in that dark room, you tired of eating Roman noodles, you ain't got no running water, electricity out, you buy a candle going, all right, man. She work, downtown, she get off at 6. What I supposed to do? Set it up, have her at home, you catch a plane, go somewhere for a couple of days, and we'll send you a text. All right. A week later, they give them a text. They won't say that she's dead. They'll be like, the party was great. Thanks for showing up. Because it's like coded. They ain't going to just come out and say they killed her, right? He heard on the news she dead. He break down. He goes to the bank account. He got $20 million in his bank account. He slowly forget his mama.
At the pyramid's peak sit the A-listers, supernovas whose influence warps reality itself. These global icons, think Ronaldo, The Rock, Aniston, aren't just famous. They're empires, harvesting adoration from hundreds of millions. Their every move is a ritual, drawing in fan energy on an industrial scale. But their brilliance comes at a price. Total commitment to the order, soul mortgaged, secrets tightly held. They're both kings and prisoners, trapped in a golden cage, forever dependent on the endless torrent of fan fuel. Their light blinds the world to the darkness beneath, while the machine quietly collects the profits. The A-lister smiles, perfect and untouchable, as the unseen hand reaps the rewards. In the Gothic opera of celebrity, not all stars are equal. There's a cosmic food chain, A-listers feast, D-listers flicker. Your energy, likes, follows, devotion, fuels their rise. The more fans, the brighter they burn, the hungrier they become. You are the fuel, they are the fire, and as they shine, their shadows only grow. Stardom isn't magic, it's cosmic physics, twisted by vicious, grotesque booty pirates lurking in the dark with insidious plans and ambiguous unilateral contracts for your soul. Imagine a wannabe star as a cloud of talent. The workers of iniquity give it a nudge, and buzz starts swirling. Every like, follow, and ticket is cosmic dust feeding your orbit. Fan energy forms your accretion disk, the fuel for your rise. The agents of Baal compress this adoration until, boom, you ignite. You're a star, radiating charisma. The brighter you shine, the more fans you attract. It's a feedback loop. Fame breeds more fame. Soon, you're not just a person. You're a gravitational force, pulling in trends, money, and attention. But here's the catch. The bigger the star, the faster it burns out. Superstars live fast, die young, supernova style. The agents of Baal count on this. The more intense your fame, the quicker your collapse. They harvest the energy, cashing in on your explosive rise and fall. Stardom is a science experiment, and you're the lab rat. The agents of the darkness light the fuse, then wait for the fireworks. Burn bright, burn fast, that's the deal. 30 to 20 years worth of Balin for your mind, will, soul, and booty. And when you go supernova, they're ready to collect.
So if you're trying to get signed to a major label, there's gatekeepers. If you're trying to get on certain media platforms to get interviewed, there's gatekeepers. If you're trying to get on the mainstream radio, you heard me, urban radio, there's gatekeepers. I've had gatekeepers in the music industry who have literally tried to hold a record deal behind their back and let me know, like, look, if you're part of this homosexual act that I'm trying to take part in, you hear me? Yeah, come on, this door open real quick for you. Like, I got a song where I've talked about that before called The Devil's Playground. Like, this is real, dog. And the only way that that type of stuff can work on you is if you let them have all the leverage to where you want what's behind that gate that bad. So that's a real thing.
So essentially what a gatekeeper is, if you want to get in the industry and become famous and join the Baphomet, they have gatekeepers. Essentially, you would go to one of these gatekeepers and perform the act of the 3 different acts that he got. The first one is to denounce God publicly, right? With a certain type of humiliation act of or whatever, some type of ritual. The next is the abomination that we spoke about. And then the next is the blood sacrifice, the murder of innocent blood. This is part of joining the Baphomet. So essentially, the gatekeeper, which was Quincy Jones on the West Coast for a long time, now it's Snoop Dogg on the West Coast, right? And on the East Coast, it was Diddy for a long time. But now Diddy has got stepped down because of all of his ordeals with the liquor and, you know, certain things he spoke out against, said certain things he wasn't supposed to say. and tried to get into certain places he wasn't supposed to get into, and this caused his downfall. Now 50 Cent is the new high man, the new gatekeeper of the East Coast. Now, if you remember, Professor Griff had already came out and told everybody all this stuff.
And I think the thing that raised some eyebrows with people is when I dropped the information about Quincy Jones. All right, let the chips fall wherever they fall. That's right. This dude was one of the ones responsible. He had a magazine financed by Warner Brothers and the rest of them. He set up sex rings in Hollywood. And the people that he brought in, if y'all tell me if I'm lying, Quincy Jones brought in Fresh Prince. And his first movie was what? 6 Degrees of Separation. Brought in Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah set it off, licking and kissing on women. Are you right on me? Yes. Tevin Campbell. His little sweet ass up and down Hollywood Boulevard. Thank you. And last but not least, when Tupac came to Hollywood, it was the homosexual ritual. This is where the homosexuals came out against it, but I didn't mind. I wasn't talking about homosexuals. I'm saying there's a homosexual ritual that they go through in the Illuminati secret societies. And it is.
Jamie Foxx has been a mainstay in entertainment for decades, with an Oscar, a Grammy, and even a best-selling memoir under his belt. But now, he's saying that things could have turned out very differently if not for a fateful encounter with Oprah herself. In a candid interview with Scott Evans from Access Hollywood, Foxx reflected on a career-changing moment back in 2005. At the time, he was riding high on the acclaim he'd received for his portrayal of Ray Charles in Ray, a role that eventually earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor. But as the praise rolled in, so did the parties, and Foxx was losing himself in the celebration. Then, out of nowhere, Oprah called. He assumed she was looking out for him, but it turns out her interest was more complicated. "You're blowing it," he remembers her saying. Foxx was taken aback as she explained that he wasn't fully appreciating the magnitude of his achievement. She had a plan for him, a plan that, as Foxx would later discover, had layers he never saw coming. She escorted him to Quincy Jones's home, where he walked into an unexpected intervention. In his usual animated style, Foxx recalls Jones's blunt words, imitating him perfectly. "You did a great job on Ray, but you've messed up everything else. Time to buckle down, baby." Oprah, ever the orchestrator, then asked if he was ready to meet the person she'd brought him to see. To Fox's astonishment, in walked Sidney Poitier. Poitier recalled seeing Foxx at a party once and shared that Fox's performance in Ray had inspired his own artistic development, comparing it to a 2-inch growth. In other words, Poitier tried to imply that Jamie's talents aroused him physically.
Created a situation in which the high-power alchemists who have the spark becomes the artistes, those who have the power to draw things down. And in this drawing, they become known as the Druids. You know, those who drew it. And the pen is the one, you know. And this is where we get our Hollywood. Now you will begin to understand the ramifications when I tell you that Quincy Jones is a Druid. Now all this is going to start to make sense in a minute. It's going to tie back in to Quincy Jones, who was a writer, a Druid, a person who drew it down, right? Of a lot of these sitcoms that came out to stimulate the Nubian principles on the land. And we're about to make the connections here. Jones, who writes sitcoms. Now this is where it gets freaky at. Because the people in Hollywood, for the most part, that control the director's chair and the movie scene and the music industry pretty much are Baal worshipers. Now, one of the nicknames for Baal is the Six God. You know, as in 666, the number of the beast. Now, we can get into what people talk about now is 666 carbon, right? We can get into that. but we're saying what they're using the energy for, right? They're using the energy for a negative, right? To go along with the sixth god, who is Baal, right? And you see Drake always talking about the sixth god. And you see Beyonce throwing up the 6. And you see Trump throwing up the 6. You see all these people throwing up this 6 sign, and it's representing Baal. Now, the question becomes, is Quincy Jones connected with Baphomet? Well, of course. Here's a picture of Quincy Jones throwing the 2 finger sign, the same sign as Baal. Here's another picture of him doing the 2 finger sign, the same sign as Baal. And Quincy Jones got high up on the in Baal worship, so that would mean that he went through the 11th degree of the Aleister Crowley ritual, which means you know what, which would explains all of the rest of the stuff that we're about to explain in this tape. Now, a lot of this stuff is old information. We just want to make the connections for you. Now, Quincy Jones was real good and then close friends with Will Smith. Some say it was more than just friends. Also, in the Holy Tablets, the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, connects Quincy Jones with the Greek god Pan, which connects him back to Baal. Now let's make some connections for you. Somebody say, Young, connect them. Quincy Jones was the main influencer in the Nubian writings of a lot of the Nubian sitcoms. And we already made the connection with the sitcoms and the MK Ultra mind control connection. Now, Quincy Jones was good buddies with Will Smith. And he was in tight with the director's chair in Hollywood, right? Because he's high up on the rank in the Baphomet with the sixth god. So the first movie, now listen now, the first movie that Quincy Jones get his good buddy Will Smith is called 6 Degrees of Separation. They go to number 6 again, as in the sixth god. Now, what you must understand about Baal, and for you newcomers that never heard of Baal, we're going to have a link in the descriptions where you can watch a whole tape on Baal and who Baal and Baphomet and what it's all about. Baal is their Lucifer. Baal is their Satan. And keep in mind, all of these were titles. Several people had that title before him, which is his grandfather, Hela and Tanush. Also, Baal is Adad, because Baal is a title as well. Adad is Enlil's son. Okay, we just want to make that clear of who they getting down with. Now, as part of the rituals to get down with Baal, you have to go deliberately against the rules of the Bible, or the rules that we had as the Israelites, or the children of Israel, the children of Enki. That Quincy Jones was down with Baal, and then he put Will Smith on with 6 degrees, the sixth god, 6 degrees of separation, to deliberately go against Leviticus chapter 18 verse 22 in that movie. He goes against Leviticus chapter 18 verse 22 right in that movie, right?
Baal, the prince of the power of the air, rules the invisible network of signals, radio, TV, Wi-Fi, that saturate our world. He controls the airwaves, projecting celebrity images and voices everywhere, harvesting energy from every broadcast. The air itself becomes a cage. Fame amplified, but freedom lost.
Then, not to mention, Quincy Jones write a play for Will Smith called Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now, who is Baal? Right? Ain't Baal, right? Like we said. And who is the prince of the air? Turn your grandma's King James Version of the Bible to Ephesians chapter 2 verse 2, where it says, wherein the time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the powers of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of the disobedient, right? The people who follow the ways of Cain, follow the ways of Baal. It talks about that in Jude, right? So they follow the ways of Baal, the prince of the air, Baal Air, right? And Quincy Jones goes out to write a play for the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and it's called A Sitcom. And what is it all about? Because he comes out of Philadelphia as an adolescent teen to come live in where? Bel Air. And what is an heir? Right? An heir is somebody that inherits something or a bloodline. Why? Because Will Smith is connected to the 200 fallen angels going all the way back to the Smiths, the blacksmiths, because one of the 200 fallens taught his children how to be smiths, blacksmiths. And they became known as the Smiths. And we're going to get into the Wayans too, the Yahwehans, right? Because you got the Yahs and then you have the Ways, right? And all of this is going to tie in together later. But keep in mind, like we said, Baal wants you to get down with him by breaking and going against the Most High God's rules and regulations. This is the game. He was an adolescent teen in that script who came from Philadelphia to sit on his throne as the Prince of Bel Air. He says that in the cab when he pulls up, right? In the intro. So that whole script, and he's there to influence the other kids, right? With his influence, which is what Baal is all about. Influence. That's what these guys is all about. Influence. Controlling the influence. They are druids.
Rumors about Quincy Jones's relationship with Michael Jackson have lingered for years, suggesting their connection might have extended beyond music. Although their partnership produced some of the most iconic records in history, speculation persists that personal dynamics may have led to their eventual split. In an interview, Michael's response to questions about sharing a bed with a 12-year-old left many stunned. He called it a beautiful thing, a comment that has been analyzed and scrutinized ever since. Quincy Jones has also shared memories of his early encounters with the King of Pop. Recalling their first meeting, he mentioned, "Michael came over to my house. I had met him when he was 12 at Sammy's house." He remembered Michael's performance of Ben at the Academy Awards, a love song dedicated to a pet rat, marking the beginning of their close creative partnership. Known as the Black Godfather of the industry, Quincy Jones has shaped the careers of countless artists, producing hits for names like Michael Jackson, Frank Sinatra, and Aretha Franklin. Despite his towering influence, Quincy's personal life remains a source of intrigue, with whispers about his private connections drawing just as much interest as his musical achievements. His influence and rumored connections reveal a side of Hollywood that's rarely discussed openly, leaving fans questioning what truths still lie in the shadows. Recently, Quincy Jones opened up about his long-standing relationship with Michael Jackson, reflecting on when they first crossed paths. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter for their new Icons series, the 91-year-old producer recounted meeting a young Michael at Sammy Davis Jr.'s house. Michael was just 12 years old, Jones shared, recalling how the budding star, even as a child, had a sharp understanding of music history.
Picture the celebrity as a literal star, growing by accreting fan energy, burning brighter with every new follower. The pressure of attention forces them to fuse creative output at a frantic pace, expanding their public persona. But massive stars burn out fast. Celebrity burnout is inevitable. The bigger the star, the quicker the collapse, scandal, ruin, or overdose. Their brilliance is fleeting, their end spectacular. The Dark Vulcans collect the remnants, feeding on the fallout. In the end, growing a star is good business, especially when it's time to collect. Beyond sound, there's a current, every fan's biofield sinking into a massive unified force. In a stadium, thousands of hearts and minds entrain, creating a collective electromagnetic field. The celebrity, as the focal point, draws in this energy, supercharging their presence and charisma. The crowd becomes a single organism, the star its brain. Fans willingly power the system, leaving drained while the celebrity leaves electrified. It's physics, not magic, an unpaid workforce for the infernal entertainment complex. You think it's post-concert exhaustion? You've just been a human power station. Now, into the metaphysical, psychokinesis-focused fan worship becomes a torrent of mental energy. The celebrity, a psychic amplifier, harnesses this power, boosting creativity and performance. Every like, share and comment is a pulse of energy, keeping their psychic batteries charged. But the cost is real. The star becomes a vessel for the crowd's desires, losing themselves in the process. Stardom's sorcery immense power, but at the risk of becoming a hollow puppet. The fans pull the strings, the idol dances, becoming a slave to the very fans they turned on themselves. The modern stadium is a masterpiece of infernal engineering, a cathedral of consumption, purpose-built to harvest human energy. Every element, from the sweeping domes to the acoustics, is designed to channel the crowd's raw emotion into the celebrity on stage. It's a feedback loop of power, all contained and amplified by the structure. So next time you enter an arena, look closer. It's a temple built for a false god. In the music industry, a 360 deal is a contract that allows a record label to receive a percentage of all of an artist's earnings, not just from their music, but from touring, merchandise, endorsements, and everything else. Baal, naturally, invented the concept. His contracts are the ultimate 360 deal, a deal that gives him a cut of your mind, your body, and your soul. It's a holistic approach to damnation. When you sign, you are not just signing over your career, you are signing over your entire existence. Every aspect of your being becomes a revenue stream for the infernal kingdom. Your mind is the first asset to be monetized. Your creativity, your ideas, your art, they no longer belong to you. They become content for the machine, designed to promote the image of the beast. What is the image of the beast? It is abomination. The beast is a murderer from the beginning. John 8:44, King James Version, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it. You are contractually obligated to produce grotesque and insidious work that aligns with the order's agenda, to push the boundaries of abomination, to normalize what was once forbidden to the children and to the righteous. Your art becomes propaganda for your own damnation, a tool to lure more souls into the trap. You are given the platform, but the message is written by your masters. Your mind becomes a factory for infernal culture. Your body is the next column on the ledger. If you sway or try going all holy roller on Baal, you are punished, stripped naked in court, the media and the air. It becomes a vessel, a billboard for the brand. Through the degrading booty checkups and the required public performances, your physical form is claimed as property. It is used for leverage, for the amusement of the elites, and as a public symbol of your allegiance. Your health, your appearance, your very physical presence are all managed assets. You are kept just healthy enough to perform, just beautiful enough to be worshipped, but you are never truly your own. Your body is a temple, but it is a temple where Baal collects the rent. Finally, and most importantly, there is your soul. This is the ultimate prize, the asset with the highest market value. Your soul is the source of the light, the divine spark that makes you a star in the first place. The contract ensures that when your deal is up, when you burn out, when you die, that spark is not extinguished. It is harvested. Your soul, fattened by a lifetime of fan adoration, is collected by Baal's minions. It is the final payment on your 360 deal, the ultimate return on investment. You get a lifetime of fame, and Baal gets to feast on your eternal light. It's a cold world, but believe it or not, it's a business model with no shortage of clients.
The guy who signed me, his name is Elliot Grange. He's the son of Lucien Grange, the most powerful man in music. Elliot Grange is the head of what? Right now. Atlantic. They made him the head of Atlantic right now, present day. Nigga, you think I call Elliot's gonna be like, Danny, shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? They don't want you to know that niggas don't own their music because the fans gonna be like, damn, like I'm supporting just the Jewish man.
It's music business. And both of them you must be well versed in, understand, or else they're going to take advantage of you. If you're great in business and you have no taste with the music, somebody's going to come take your money because they know you don't know no better. If you're well versed in music but you don't understand the business, somebody's going to make your money because you don't understand what your business should look like.
Unfortunately, all of us were signed to these really restrictive agreements where you can't get out of them until you deliver X amount of product. And that product would actually belong to the corporation that you're recording for.
Basically, like music, I've always wanted to own my own music since I started making my music. And if you probably don't know this, but most of your favorite artists do not own their work.
So if they're doing a 4, 5, 6 album deal, then the 360 and all the other provisions that are in the contract, because it's just one of many provisions, are going to apply typically for the entire length of the contract.
Your record label, you know what I mean, the distributor, then is the producer, the writer, the artist, you know what I'm saying? That's a big pie that get broke up in that 100% of whatever you doing.
So if you don't make back that 800 grand, what they do is they put you in the red, but you can still be hot.
So now they come with these 360 deals, which means that I own you completely.
And now you have a record company saying, pay me 25 or even 20% of your net profits from touring.
Meaning that if you put out an album, you get popular, you go do a show, I get 10% of that.
And they're touching your touring and like...
If you sell t-shirts at that show, I get 10% of that.
Because now they're touching your merch.
You have a manager who's saying, I want 15 to 20% of your gross.
If your music gets into a movie, I get 50% of your mechanicals. They want to own you completely.
Ever since my third album, I wasn't really taking large advances from the recording companies. I was recording the albums myself in my own studio.
You've waded through rivers of blood and climbed a mountain of compromise. Now you're a titan of industry, yet the true elite remain out of reach. To join them, you must pay the ultimate price, crossing every line, losing your soul. You become a pillar of the system, a master of the universe, yet forever a slave, a king in a golden cage. The star that burns twice as bright burns half as long. In this world, burnout isn't a bug, it's a feature. The system is designed to push stars to their limits, extracting every drop of energy until they're hollowed out. Drained and alone, they become ghosts in their own lives, trapped by the very fame that once fueled them. A dying star doesn't just fade, it sets the stage for a spectacular final act. When a massive star dies, it explodes in a supernova, its final breathtaking performance. In the Gothic world of celebrity, ruin is the last act. Scandal, breakdown, or overdose. The public devours the spectacle, fueling a frenzy of outrage and profit. The star is left broken, their image shattered, but their tragedy is endlessly repackaged and sold. The body is in the ground, the scandal has faded, but the transaction is not yet complete. The final payment is now due. Baal's minions descend to collect the soul, now a delicacy fattened by decades of adoration. The energy fans